Ever wondered what women simply won't settle for? What are those lines in the sand, those sacred grounds where we plant our feet and say, this far and no further? It's a question that goes to the very heart of who we are, not just as individuals, but as a collective force. Today, we're going to talk about that. We're going to explore the deep, unwavering truths that live inside the spirit of women everywhere. These aren't just preferences. These are the core pillars of a life lived with intention, with dignity, and with a profound sense of self. These are the universal boundaries that so many of us, from all walks of life, stand by. They are the non-negotiables, the promises we make to ourselves. You see, for generations, women have been navigating the world, learning, growing, and discovering their own power. And through that journey, we've learned what truly matters, what nourishes our souls, and what we must protect at all costs. It's about understanding that we are deserving of respect, safety, and the freedom to chase our own stars. So, I invite you to join me in this conversation. Let's pull back the curtain and celebrate the strength it takes to stand firm. This isn't about being difficult or demanding. It's about being true. It's about honoring the voice within that whispers, "You are worthy." Together, let's delve into the 5 uncompromising stances that define the modern woman's journey to her best life. This is for every woman who has ever stood her ground. This is for you. The very first thing, the foundation upon which everything else is built, is self-respect. It's that deep, quiet understanding in your soul that you are valuable, just as you are. It's not something someone else can give you, and it is certainly not something you should ever let anyone take away. A woman who respects herself refuses to be a footnote in someone else's story. She insists on being the author of her own. She understands that her dignity is not up for negotiation. It's the crown she wears, even when no one is watching. It's the internal compass that guides her choices, from the company she keeps to the opportunities she pursues. This means walking away from situations that diminish you, that make you feel small or unseen. It's saying no to being the butt of a joke that doesn't feel right in your spirit. It's refusing to accept treatment that falls short of what you know you deserve. It's about looking in the mirror and loving the person looking back, flaws and all, because you know her journey. You know the battles she has fought and the mountains she has climbed. Self-respect is the quiet, powerful anthem of her heart, a melody that says, "I am enough, I am worthy, I matter." It's the promise she makes to herself to always be her own fiercest advocate. And let me tell you, when you truly anchor yourself in that self-respect, the world shifts around you. People begin to treat you the way you treat yourself. You radiate a certain energy, a boundary that is both gentle and unbreakable. It's not about arrogance, it's about alignment. It's about living in a way that honors the magnificent creation that you are. Prioritizing your self-worth isn't selfish. It's essential. It is the sacred ground from which all your other strengths will grow and blossom. It's the ultimate act of self-preservation and self-love. Now let's talk about your core, your personal values. These are the beliefs and morals that act as your North Star, guiding you through life's brightest days and its darkest nights. A woman who knows herself knows what she stands for. Whether it's honesty, compassion, integrity, or loyalty, these aren't just words to her. They are the very fabric of her character. She will not compromise her principles for convenience, for popularity, or for anyone else's approval. She understands that betraying her own values is a betrayal of herself, a wound far deeper than any external judgment. Think about it. When you are asked to do something that goes against your grain, that feels wrong in your gut, that is your inner wisdom speaking. A woman of substance listens to that voice. She will not lie for a partner. She will not cheat for a promotion. She will not be silent in the face of injustice if her core values demand she speak up. This kind of integrity requires immense courage. It often means choosing the harder path, the one with more resistance. But it's the only path that leads to a life you can be proud of, a life where your actions are in harmony with your soul. Living by your values means you build a life of authenticity. You attract people and experiences that resonate with who you truly are. There's a peace that comes from that alignment, a solidness that can't be shaken by external chaos. You become a person others can trust, but more importantly, you become a person who can trust herself. Standing firm on your morals isn't about being rigid or judgmental. It's about being true. It's about building a legacy of character, one principled decision at a time. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, more fundamental than a woman's right to feel safe. This is not a preference. It is a prerequisite for life itself. We're talking about safety in every sense of the word, physical, emotional, and psychological. A woman will not, and honestly should not ever settle for an environment where her well-being is at risk. This means feeling secure in her own home, walking down the street without fear, and being in relationships where she is protected, not threatened. Her body is her temple, and she is its guardian. Any violation of that sacred space is an absolute, unequivocal deal breaker. But it goes deeper than just physical safety. Emotional well-being is just as critical. This is the uncompromising stance against mind games, manipulation, and gaslighting. It's the refusal to be in a space where your feelings are constantly dismissed, where you're made to feel crazy for having normal human emotions. A woman's peace of mind is precious. She will not allow it to be the playground for someone else's insecurities. She will build boundaries to protect her heart and her sanity from constant criticism, yelling, or emotional volatility. She knows that a calm spirit is the ultimate luxury. Ultimately, this is about creating a sanctuary for herself, both internally and externally. It's about recognizing the red flags and trusting that gut feeling that tells you something is off. It's about choosing partners, friends, and workplaces that contribute to her sense of security, not detract from it. A woman who prioritizes her safety is not being paranoid. She is being profoundly wise. She understands that only when she feels safe can she truly thrive, open up, and live as the fullest, most vibrant version of herself. Her well-being is the soil from which her entire life grows. Every woman is born with a spark inside her, a unique set of gifts, dreams, and ambitions. It might be the dream of starting a business, writing a book, traveling the world, raising a family with intention, or getting that degree she's always wanted. Whatever it is, that dream is sacred. A woman who is truly alive will not allow that fire to be extinguished. She will not compromise on her aspirations to make someone else more comfortable. She understands that her goals are not frivolous desires, they are the expression of her soul's purpose. She will not shrink herself to fit into someone else's small box. This means she will not settle for a partner who sees her ambition as a threat, rather than a beautiful part of who she is. She will not stay in a job that clips her wings and tells her she's aiming too high. She will fiercely protect the time and energy needed to nurture her dreams, even when the world tells her she should be focusing on other things. It's a quiet rebellion against the notion that a woman's dreams are secondary, that they are somehow less important. She knows that pursuing her potential is one of the greatest gifts she can give to herself and to the world. Let's be clear, this doesn't mean she won't compromise within a partnership or make sacrifices. Life is about balance, but she will not sacrifice the dream itself. She will find a way. She will work late, get up early, find mentors, and build a support system. She will be the architect of her own future. A woman who refuses to give up on her dreams is a force of nature. She is fueled by passion and resilience, and she teaches everyone around her what is possible when you believe in yourself. Her ambitions are not negotiable. They are her destiny calling. Finally, we come to the people we choose to share our lives with. A woman who values herself will insist on healthy relationships. And what does that mean? It means relationships built on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and genuine kindness. It is a space where she can be her authentic self without fear of judgment. She will not settle for a toxic dynamic, one filled with jealousy, control, or disrespect. She knows that the quality of her relationships directly impacts the quality of her life, and she will not drink poison just because she is thirsty for connection. This means she expects a partner who is a true partner, someone who celebrates her successes, supports her in her struggles, and communicates with honesty and compassion. She will not tolerate being belittled, ignored, or made to feel less than. The same goes for her friendships. She will surround herself with people who lift her up, who inspire her, and who genuinely want the best for her. She will lovingly distance herself from so-called friends who drain her energy, thrive on drama, or compete with her in unhealthy ways. She knows her circle is a reflection of her self-worth. A healthy relationship is a two-way street. It's about give and take, about listening as much as you speak, and about showing up for each other. A woman who understands this will not stay in a one-sided relationship where she is the only one putting in the effort. She will not try to fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. She will not accept crumbs of affection when she deserves the whole feast. She will choose connection over chaos, support over sabotage, and love over longing. She knows that a healthy relationship should add to her life, not subtract from it. So, as we've walked through these 5 pillars, self-respect, personal values, safety, ambition, and healthy relationships, What is the one thread that ties them all together? It is the profound, unshakable belief in one's own worth. It all starts from that one simple yet revolutionary idea: I am worthy. Worthy of respect, worthy of safety, worthy of my dreams, worthy of a love that nurtures, not diminishes. This isn't about a checklist of demands. It's a declaration of self-love that echoes through every choice you make. Living this way requires courage. It requires you to listen to that inner voice, even when the world is screaming at you to ignore it. It requires you to set boundaries, not as walls to keep people out, but as gates to let the right people in. It is a continuous journey of choosing yourself over and over again. Every time you stand up for your dignity, every time you honor your values, every time you walk away from what harms you, you are strengthening that core of who you are. You are building a life that is not just lived, but is deeply felt and authentically yours. I want you to take this with you today. Feel it in your bones, in your spirit. You have the right to take up space in this world, to have a voice, and to set the terms for your own happiness and well-being. This is your power. It has been inside you all along. Let it shine brightly for all the world to see. Remember, knowing your worth and standing by your boundaries is true strength.